What is Muv Luv Extra Grande with cheese? Muv Luv Unlimited Blade Works is a game where you get to date many. Wait. Haven't I done this before? Oh, right. This is a sequel video, so if you haven't seen the original, check that one out first. Plus, I won't be going over the basics to not sound repetitive. And plus, Muv Luv Unlimited is a lot like Extra. If you put certain screenshots next to each other, it's kinda hard to tell which one's which. Nothing wrong with that, of course, it is a sequel. However, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let me tell you how the story gets here. So, one day, Takeru was doing date stuff in his Extra universe where he gets his own harem and stuff. But one day, he goes to sleep, wakes up, and it looks like the day after tomorrow was yesterday. His entire city, neighborhood, everything destroyed, and for all Takeru knows, all his close friends could be dead, including his parents. So he goes to his school, which is now a military base, where he gets captured by the army and gets explained that aliens called betas have destroyed the world. Takeru hopes this is all a dream he'll wake up from, but he never does. Now, I'm sure if you're invested in this, you probably have a lot of whiplash, like how is this anything like the last game? Well, hear me out, Takeru gets put in an all-girl squad. It turns out this is actually a parallel universe, and all his classmates from the first game are here. And now they're all cadets training to pilot Gundams. Mechs, not Gundams, right? So this is where the game starts to feel really familiar. So you're in this school, military base, where now you get to bond with girls from the first game, but now they're different. And by different, I mean they despise you. Pretty much gang up and bully you for the first half of the game. I actually like this aspect because you get to earn their trust, unlike an Extra where characters had relationships that we did not know anything about till we got there. So now we're in the same shoes as the main character because neither he nor us know these characters. So this is my very first visual novel. And something that it taught me is that enjoying a visual novel is different from enjoying a video game, manga, or anime. Most anime are relatively short, so you could finish them relatively quickly. However, visual novels expand around 50 hours or so, maybe even more. A lot like an RPG, but in an RPG or stuff like that, you have a balance of story and gameplay. Yeah, there's a lot of time where you're sitting down watching cutscenes, but it usually builds up to an epic fight that you yourself have to participate in. A visual novel really is all story. You really have to settle down and just enjoy it. Honestly, for a while I was having a really hard time. I realized that a lot of the cutscenes were telling me a lot of stuff that wasn't really all that important. The detail is super insane, and not every scene has equal value. I found myself impatient and slow parts, just wanting to get to the next climactic scene to see what would happen. Why do I care that the main character is complaining about getting too much food when the world could end at any second? Why do I need every type of enemy explained in detail and robot that I drive and explain in extreme detail about how everything works? And then I realized I was playing the game wrong. This isn't like an anime, this isn't like a video game where you sort of get this window where you peek into somebody else's world. In a visual novel, you are the character in the world. In real life, important stuff isn't gonna happen every day, but that's what makes it real. Muv Luv Unlimited feels like real life. It gets you comfortable with where you're at. It gives you this sense, this feeling of nothing can go wrong. Look at how ordinary everything feels. You get immersed in this world. And when I started living in the world this game had created instead of experiencing it, that's when I really started to fall in love with it. If you play a visual novel with the intention of just finishing it, you will never enjoy it. You must play it with the intention of experiencing every last second of it, just like life. This immersion led to one of my favorite parts in this game. The main character and the squad get told that they might need to go into battle. Even though they're just cadets, they are the last line of defense and they might need to just go fight. And going by the fact that Takeru is still just a normal kid from the last game, and my squad is still a bunch of cadets, I knew that if we went out there we were gonna get clobbered and people might die. This came out of nowhere too. Just imagine you're eating lunch with your date, then you get told that both of you need to go into the front lines and fight aliens that have murdered all of civilization. Understandingly, Takeru passes out from the pressure. The game did such a good job building up to this and then telling me exactly how Takeru was feeling and immersing me that I almost passed out. To me, this is the peak of visual novels. However, let me get to my nitpicks now. One thing that ruined my immersion in this game was that sometimes you'd be in a scene and then you'd go backwards in time to explain how you got to that scene. This type of situation is very common in anime and very understandable too. But in the visual novel where I'm supposed to be the main character, it's rather annoying. I'm super immersed, feeling as if I am the main character, and then all of a sudden, it's as if I just woke up with amnesia and have to remember how I got to a certain scene. Really immersion and pace breaking. Another nitpick I have is that every route is very similar. In Muv Luv Extra, usually a maximum of 2 routes are very similar. But then if you went down for a different girl, it would be a completely different story. In Muv Luv Unlimited, no matter which girl you're going for, it's gonna be almost the exact same journey, except for a few scenes, of course. Anyways, that's enough negativity for now. I noticed that the most paused moment in my last video was the little clip of a sex scene that I showed. Just to teach you, I'm not gonna put any sex scenes, except for these ones. Anyways, Muv Luv Unlimited is a severe upgrade to Extra. It's just as well written, it's just as immersive, the characters are just as likable, but the climaxes hit way harder. And I already said I love the climaxes in Extra, but the climaxes hit way harder here. At least definitely the first time. This game honestly brought me to tears at the end. So if you enjoyed Muv Luv Extra and you finished it, this is a must play, definitely. So apparently this was all set up for the third game, Alternative, and I'm super hyped for that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in Alternative.